Hi, I'm Dr. Beck Bennett and welcome back to the AIMER video series. If you've been following along, you'll know that so far we've covered ask, inform, manage, encourage, and now we're up to the fifth and final stage, refer. Refer is about knowing when and how to connect clients with the right support in a way that is safe, respectful, and empowering. And here it's helpful to remember the principle of the no wrong door. What this means is that whichever professional a client turns to first, whether that's you as their hearing care provider, their GP, or another service, that door should always be an entry point to the right support. Our role as part of our duty of care is to make sure that when clients open that door with us, they aren't turned away or left to manage alone. Instead, we guide them towards the next step, so they know they will be supported in finding the help they need. And this is why referral is such a vital part of holistic audiological care. It ensures clients receive support, not just for their hearing, but for their overall well-being. If you're sitting here thinking, I don't often refer my clients for extra support, and I sometimes feel unsure about whether I should, then you're not alone. In fact, our recent research with hearing care professionals and clinic staff found that many clinicians share these challenges. We identified three main areas that shape referral behaviours. Theme 1 is around beliefs and recognition of need. Some clinicians recognise mental health as part of hearing care, while others believe fitting hearing aids alone will solve issues like loneliness and low mood, despite the evidence in contrary to this. There's also uncertainty around scope of practice. Some clinicians wonder, is it really my role to raise mental health? Also, personal comfort plays a role. Some clinicians feel confident having these conversations about mental health referral, while others prefer to keep the focus on the audiogram and the hearing aids. Theme 2 described clinician beliefs around their knowledge, skills, and training limitations. Many hearing care professionals said they lacked training in recognising and responding to mental health needs. They felt unsure about when a referral is warranted, who to refer to, and how to make it happen. Privacy concerns also created hesitation. For example, some clinicians didn't know whether contacting a GP or family physician without client permission would be a breach. Time pressures and lack of quick tools or templates were also major barriers. Theme 3 centered around outcomes and consequences. So some clinicians worry about what happens after referral. Some fear that clients will feel labelled or offended. Others doubt whether GPs or psychologists will respond appropriately, especially given that many mental health providers have limited training in working with people with hearing loss. And other clinicians talked about their own negative past experiences. For example, clients reporting that they had gone to see a psychologist upon their recommendation, but they found them expensive and unhelpful. And these sorts of negative experiences can make clinicians hesitant to refer again. So the key takeaway here is if you don't currently refer your clients for mental health support, you're not failing. You're navigating a system with real barriers, knowledge gaps, time pressures, unclear pathways, and professional uncertainties. And that's exactly why we're spending time in this video unpacking the referral process. By the end, you'll feel clearer and more confident about when and how to refer, how to do it within your scope, and how to follow up so clients feel supported along the way. Back in video 9, we introduced 2 practical tools for supporting clients seeking wellbeing support, the Stepped Care tool and the Help Seeking brochure. Let's do a quick refresher. The Stepped Care tool shows the different steps of mental wellbeing support, starting with light touch, self-guided options, then moving up to guided support, and finally to specialised individual care. When you detect a client might benefit from wellbeing support, you can use the Stepped Care tool to explore which level of help feels right for them. And the brochure is what helps bridge that conversation into action. It provides a clear list of services, contact points, information, and next steps that clients can take away with them. Some clients will choose lighter options, while others will select a referral as their next course of action. For example, a referral back to their GP or to a mental health practitioner. So in this video, we're going to build on those tools and walk through the 4 steps of making good referrals, making the referral process more tangible and less overwhelming. The 4 steps are 1. Client permission. 2. Identify the right referral pathway. 3. Stay within scope. And 4. Close the loop. We'll take each step in turn, unpack what it looks like in practice, and show you how to use the tools to make referral conversations smoother, more supportive, and more effective in the clinic. Step 1 is all about client permission. A referral should never be something we decide for the client. The decision has to come from the client. And that's why the stepped care tool is so useful here. When you work through the stepped care tool together, the client is the one who identifies whether a referral feels right for them. They can see the different levels of support laid out in front of them, and they're actively involved in choosing what step they'd like to take. This means the client isn't just being referred somewhere, they're making an informed choice with your guidance and your support. By anchoring referral in client permission, we set the tone from the very beginning. The client is in control, and we're here to walk alongside them. Step 2 looks at identifying the right referral pathway. Not all referrals look the same. Some clients will need their GP as the first point of contact. Others might benefit from a psychologist, a counsellor, a social worker, even a local community service. What matters is finding the right fit for the client's situation. If someone tells you they're feeling persistently low, a GP referral might be the best step. If they're struggling with relationship stress, perhaps counselling is more relevant. But it's not just about what type of referral, it's also about who we refer to. And this is where being proactive as a clinic makes all the difference. I encourage every clinic to develop a referral partners booklet. This can be a simple, up-to-date list of local psychologists, counsellors, social workers, dementia clinics, and other services. Having this on hand means you don't need to scramble in the moment. You can quickly identify options that are appropriate and accessible. Print off the list, circle the ones that are relevant, and hand the list to your client. When I was building my own referral network, I went one step further. I picked up the phone and called local psychologists and counsellors to ask if they had any experience or special interest in working with people who are deaf or hard of hearing. And you know what? We found some gems. Several psychologists had lived experience of hearing loss themselves, and one actually signed. It's amazing what you can uncover when you take the time to look. And once you've identified those referral partners, you can build real confidence in offering referrals that you know will be a good fit for your clients. Step 3 is around staying within scope. If a client says, "I've been feeling out of sorts, quite blue and struggling to get out of bed each day," while we might anticipate that these are symptoms of depression, we don't claim to believe the client has depression in our referral letter. Instead, we could write something like, "The client reports feeling low in mood and finding it difficult to get out of bed each day. I recommend review and support from the GP." Even if we suspect depression, we don't name it. We reflect the client's own words rather than applying a diagnostic label. This keeps our role clear and protects both the client and us as clinicians. And this goes for both the referral letter and documenting our internal clinical case notes. We're not qualified to diagnose anxiety, depression, mental health conditions, and so we shouldn't be doing as such. And so finally, step 4 is around closing the loop. A referral shouldn't just end the moment we hand over a brochure or write a letter. It's about continuity. And that might mean asking the client, "Is it okay if I check in with you after you've seen your GP?" It's about reminding them that you remain part of their care team so they don't feel like they're being handed off. You might put a note in your calendar to phone them in a month's time and check in on how they're going. Closing the loop reassures clients that they're not on their own, and it helps us evaluate whether the referral was helpful and appropriate. So to recap, good referrals involve 4 clear steps: gaining client permission, identifying the right pathway, staying within scope, and closing the loop. By following these steps and using tools like the Step Care Guide and the Help Seeking Brochure, referrals become less daunting for us as clinicians and much more empowering for our clients. Thank you for joining me in AIMER video number 12, Referral. In our next video, we'll shift gears and focus on implementation, practical tips for embedding AIMER into your clinical flow so it becomes a natural, seamless part of your everyday practice. Until then, thank you for making space for what matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.